Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Stack City. Today we're going to be discussing why I stack silver. Um, Primarily, the reason why I stack silver is because the dollar is worthless. It's losing its value completely. Every year you go to the supermarket, your dollar is losing its value. You're not able to buy as much groceries, put as much gas in your tank. Um, you know, the endless money printing, the quantitative easing, the artificially low interest rates at near 0%, they didn't fix the problems of '08. They just made them worse by compiling the debt, making the debt even greater. We're at 20 trillion now. Um, you know, the dollar's worthless, and I try and find something other than the dollar to store my wealth in, and there really isn't that much. You can put all your money into classic cars and artwork, but I recommend gold and silver. But primarily silver. Why? Because it's 85% lower. Um, 85% lower than its 1970s high of $110. Um, Name me one thing in the 1970s that was, cheap. Name me one thing that's cheaper today than it was in the 1970s. You can't. Okay? So, right now, silver is at 17, and in the 70s, it was stagnant at 50, 60, and then it popped up to 110. Right now, silver is at its bottom, and that's where you want to be buying something, at its bottom, not its top. It's not going to go much lower than it is today. It is the cheapest asset on planet Earth. It is the cheapest asset compared to what it should be worth. Based on the 1 to 10 ratio, meaning for every ounce of gold they pull out of the ground, okay, they pull out about 10 ounces of silver, okay? So that's a 1 to 10 ratio. So if gold is $1,300, silver should be at least $300 based on the ratio that they have pulling out of the ground. We're not talking about paper shorting. We're not talking about if the dollar collapses and there's no food in the store, because then it'll be more than $300. And right now we're playing a Monopoly game, especially with the money printing. I believe we could see silver at 1,000, 2,000, who knows, 10, maybe 100, maybe $1 million. If you're looking right now in Venezuela, right now 1 ounce of gold is worth $12 million. 1 ounce of silver is worth about $175,000, as you can see from the numbers, the QE numbers, the XE numbers, the conversions. The dollar index was at 103 in December of 2016. Okay, now it's at 93, and it was flirting with 90. It was at 91, 92. They just pumped it up. This guy right here, this 1 ounce of silver. This is what I stack. This is an American Eagle. This is a 2016. And what very few people know is that, one of these guys is supposed to equal one of these guys. Okay, it even says it on the back of this. It even says it. $1. Okay, but it doesn't. You need silver spot price is 17, plus this comes with a $3 premium. So you need 20 of these to buy one of these. Meanwhile, these are supposed to be 1 and 1. Where do you think we get a quarter from? This is supposed to be a 1/4 ounce of silver. Where do you think we get a dime from? This is supposed to be a 1/10 of an ounce of silver. Where do you think we get a nickel from? This is supposed to be a 20th ounce of silver, but it's not. They've completely inflated the game. And right now, it takes 20 of these to buy one of these. So automatically, times this by 20 should be $350, $400. If you times The 20 times 20 is $400 right there. But we're not talking about if this goes to zero. What happens if this goes to zero? If this goes to zero, this is priceless. This is worth everything in the world. When this buys you nothing, this will buy you everything.